A huge development in the lawsuit Blake Lively has filed against Justin Baldoni. She lost big time today. A judge, the trial judge, has dismissed 10 of the 13 charges that she has made against Justin Baldoni.
The Taylor Swift and Blake Lively text messages are finally here, and they are so bad. And we haven't even gotten everything.
Guacamole, Blake Lively just lost. This is not a drill. This just happened. Judge Lyman just ruled, and he completely threw out her sexual harassment claims. He gutted her case ahead of next month.
It looks like Blake Lively could be heading into a tough 2026 because her lawsuit involving SA allegations against Justin Baldoni has officially gone to trial. And on just the very first day, a large portion of the accusations she made were reportedly dismissed by the judge. A lot of people assumed this situation would have been quietly settled behind closed doors, but Justin pushed for it to go to court, and now it's becoming clear why. Many are saying Blake's case was already in trouble the moment those alleged text messages between her and Taylor Swift surfaced, suggesting a plan to damage Justin's reputation. Even then, Blake seemed convinced she could still come out as the victim. Critics are questioning how far things went, especially with claims that she involved her powerful connections to support her narrative. Meanwhile, rumors are swirling that Ryan Reynolds may distance himself from the situation entirely, with speculation about a possible split once everything is resolved. As for Taylor, reports suggest she's stepping back and even providing evidence, like private messages, to clear her own name. For context, this whole situation began back in December 2024 during the press tour for Ends With Us. Justin directed the film through his company and starred alongside Blake, who played the lead role. At first, everything seemed fine, but behind the scenes there were reportedly tensions over creative control, on-set behavior, and marketing decisions. Things escalated publicly during the press tour, and the situation exploded when Blake filed a lawsuit accusing Justin of serious misconduct, along with defamation and extortion claims. Before the lawsuit even became public, people noticed something was off. Justin was largely absent from the press tour. When questions arose, he shared a hospital photo, citing an infection. When he did appear, he kept noticeable distance from the cast, especially Blake. Once the lawsuit details came out, the situation started to make more sense. Blake alleged multiple instances of inappropriate behavior on set, including unscripted intimate actions, uncomfortable comments, and lack of proper set protocols during sensitive scenes. She also claimed boundaries were crossed during filming, with scenes being repeated excessively and without proper communication. Initially, public support leaned heavily toward Blake, which isn't surprising given her and Ryan's reputation as one of Hollywood's most admired couples and their close ties to Taylor. But the narrative began shifting when allegations surfaced that Blake may have used her connections to influence media coverage, including a major publication. In response, Justin filed a massive countersuit, reportedly seeking hundreds of millions in damages against both Blake and Ryan, along with a separate defamation case targeting the publication itself, arguing that proper fact-checking was ignored before the allegations were published.
Going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy.
Justin Baldoni also reportedly created a full website where he began sharing evidence against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This included an amended legal complaint outlining a detailed timeline of events from the film set, along with alleged text messages and emails. Some of that material was said to show Blake declining to meet with the on-set intimacy coordinator that Justin had arranged. What's interesting is that while Blake was publicly making her allegations, Justin stayed relatively quiet at first and didn't immediately respond. But once he began releasing his own receipts, the situation escalated quickly. Blake then took legal action again, accusing him of damaging both her and Ryan's reputations. despite critics pointing out that the situation had already been brought into the public eye through media coverage, including a major article. Eventually, the judge intervened and ordered both sides to stop speaking to the media, since the constant back and forth risked influencing potential jurors. Around the same time, Taylor Swift also started facing backlash, with some people accusing her of being indirectly involved. There were even reports of negative crowd reactions toward her at public events. Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, made it clear he was open to calling Taylor as a witness, especially since she had reportedly been present on set during parts of filming. Although Justin's massive countersuit against Blake and Ryan, reportedly seeking hundreds of millions, was ultimately dismissed, Blake's original case is still ongoing, and reports suggest it hasn't been going in her favor so far. Recently unsealed court documents allegedly revealed private messages between Blake and Taylor. In those texts, Blake was venting about Justin, using harsh language and mocking his role as a director. Taylor, according to the reports, appeared to support her friend without questioning the situation, reinforcing Blake's frustrations. In one exchange, Blake criticized Justin's public image and comments he had allegedly made, while also portraying herself as fiercely loyal to her friends. She emphasized that she reacts more strongly when someone disrespects people she cares about. Taylor's replies reportedly matched that tone, including insults directed at Justin and references to articles about his past. Overall, these alleged messages have added another layer to the case, shaping public perception and raising questions about how personal dynamics, influence, and private conversations may have played a role in an already complex and highly public legal battle.
If you get here with this doofus director of My Movie is still here, I'll be ushering him out, but hope he's still here. Can you do me a huge favor? I need help with him. Remember when Justin said that Taylor came to Blake's apartment while they were trying to talk about the movie? And Blake was like, oh, that was just a coinky dink. No, it wasn't. It was planned. She asked Taylor, can you tell him you're excited for the movie, but what you're freaking out over is the pages I sent you, what a magnetic scene that is, or whatever descriptives you're comfortable with. I'll send you the scene. You don't have to read, of course. It's a quick read. Blake says he's a clown and thinks he's a writer now and got his rewrite and told me he appreciates my passion. That's it. So having the greatest living storyteller unknowingly echo to him how much you love what we're doing, giving him credit as if he wrote it with me will go such a long way. Then Blake also says, you dug a movie out of a grave once already for me. What movie was that? It seems like she uses Taylor to get everything she wants. Blake then sent her the scene and Blake said, I love you, thank you. Text me when you're on your way. I'll have Molly meet you and security in the garage. Then she said, headed your way, I'm on your street. And remember when Justin got dropped by WME and everybody was turning on him and siding with Blake? Taylor texted her saying, you won, you did it. It seems like a group chat. Somebody else said, it's turning. Taylor sends the link of Justin getting dropped by his agency. Taylor then says, and you effing helped so many people who won't have to go through this ever again. She then said, never has a cancellation been reversed so fast. You guys don't understand how rare that is. To have proof and to take the perfect steps to bring the truth into the light. In another conversation, Taylor Swift says, I think this B knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin. And this B she's referring to is Justin Baldoni. I'm sure more is going to get revealed as time goes on, but these two are diabolical in the fact that they knew these text messages were probably going to come out and they're still denying. But hey, Taylor said she likes her friends canceled, but I don't think she thought she would join the club.
Just a few days ago, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had their first major court hearing, and it turned out to be a significant setback for Blake. The judge reviewed all 13 of her claims and dismissed 10 of them almost immediately. According to reports, those dismissed claims included allegations related to harassment, defamation, and conspiracy, largely because they were found to lack sufficient evidence or didn't meet the legal standard required to proceed. That leaves only 3 claims still moving forward, primarily tied to breach of contract issues. What stands out most is that none of the most serious allegations, the ones that initially drew widespread public attention, are part of what's continuing in court. Those claims were central to why the situation escalated so dramatically in the first place. So their dismissal changes the overall direction and weight of the case quite a bit. At this point, the legal battle is far from over, but the scope has narrowed significantly. Instead of a wide-ranging case involving multiple serious accusations, it's now focused on a much smaller set of disputes, which could ultimately reshape how the entire situation is viewed both legally and publicly.
Development in the lawsuit Blake Lively has filed against Justin Baldoni. She lost big time today. A judge, the trial judge, has dismissed 10 of the 13 charges that she has made against Justin Baldoni. This is an enormous loss for Blake Lively. Most of it centers around sexual harassment. She has made a variety of claims against Justin, including that he put a kissing scene in where the scene itself did not call for it. There was a point where he supposedly walked into her dressing room or trailer while she was breastfeeding. One of the producers showed Blake a video of his wife giving birth. One point, Blake says that Justin, in fact, this is on video, Justin had said, I'm sorry, I missed this harassment training. That turns out was a joke. It had to do with wardrobe. But she threw all of this in the lawsuit. What the judge said is Blake was relying on California law in this lawsuit. And the judge said, look, most of these claims emanate from the set, which was in New Jersey. And California, which maybe had the best laws for Blake when it came to sexual harassment, California just didn't apply. So she was trying to sue him using the wrong.
While there's a lot of online chatter suggesting that Taylor Swift is trying to distance herself from Blake Lively amid the ongoing legal battle with Justin Baldoni, most of these claims remain unverified and should be taken with caution. In situations like this, it's common for public figures to limit their visibility and involvement to avoid legal complications rather than as an admission of guilt or involvement. While Blake has faced a significant setback with many of her claims being dismissed, the case is still ongoing. It's far too early to determine the final outcome or the long-term impact on anyone's career. Public reactions and viral opinions may be intense, but they don't necessarily reflect what's actually happening in court or behind the scenes.